All right, excellent. This is week 6, and this is all about leveraging your tools and tech. So one of the things that I absolutely love is that we have post-COVID, I mean, even before COVID, but COVID happened and everything had to go online. So there are so many tools that top producers use to really streamline their business and do things in the background. Um, Many of you will, when we go through the different programs and stuff, they will sound familiar to you. But week 6 is not just about recognizing the names and recognizing what these systems are, but actually using them and understanding why you're using them. Of course, we know that there is a cause and effect to everything that we do, but top producers are really, really honed in into streamlining their systems, being very intentional, and taking things off of their plate. So we're going to talk about doing exactly that. I can tell you when, I had a full team and I was leading my team, any system that I could get into that took even a couple minutes a week away from my general responsibilities so that I could really focus on, the customers that I had and generating more customers and then taking care of my agents was imperative to me. So I was all about systems. In fact, I had a whole tree, if you will, of different systems, different activities that I had to do in a day or in a week. And I would say, okay, this is something that I have to do. So follow up with sellers is something I have to do. Showing houses is something I have to do. Communicating with cold leads or nurture leads is something that I have to do. And if I had this whole tree or whole umbrella of all of these tasks that me as a business owner had to do in the span of a week, I wanted to find each and every one that I could to create a system, a process around, or some way to streamline that task, to take additional, time or to give me back time that I needed to be able to do other tasks that couldn't be managed by a system, or just basically have more work-life balance. So that's what we're going to talk about it today. And when we talk about these, there's so many more systems that you can implement for different reasons. We could be here for an entire week on one call talking about all of the systems that are available out there. But I picked just a couple that you guys all have access to or will have access to, and ones that are super cost efficient as well. So we don't want you to go out and buy $1,000 a month in products. I want you to start really using the tools and tech that you have already at your disposal to really streamline your business so that you can focus on other things. So I want you all to start thinking about working like the top 5%. So the top 5% of real estate agents utilized advanced tools and technology that go beyond standard practices to win more listings. They adopt cutting edge solutions and strategies to stand out from the competition. So we're going to review some of the methods and systems that elite agents use. The top 5% of real estate agents nationwide tend to sell between 20 to 30 homes a year or more, with many top-tier agents closing even higher volumes, often the range of 50 to 100 plus homes annually. These numbers are significantly higher than the average agent, who typically sells between 7 to 12 transactions per year. So if you didn't know that, your typical run-of-the-mill agent is selling between 7 to 12 homes a year. The top 5%, depending on the market, are selling 25 to 30, and that's a national number. But in our area, it's more like 50 to 100 homes annually. So 50 to 100 homes. So I want you to think about that. Those of you who are doing 7 to 12 transactions in a year, could you imagine doing things the way that you're doing them now if you increased overnight your numbers to 50 to 100 transactions in a year, and what your workload would look like? It would be impossible unless you're using systems and processes to be able to handle the workload. A lot of us are doing a lot of things manually, and there's no shame in that. But if you're going to scale, you're definitely going to have to hone in your systems and work like a real business instead of just running around like a real estate agent. All right, so first thing we're going to talk about is efficient lead generation and conversion of those leads. So the challenge that every top producer has when they're moving from that average agent to the top 5% field is handling a large volume of leads while ensuring personalized outreach. So as you guys all know, if you guys are on the lead program, you know that you get a ton of leads in the door every day, but how you are managing those leads will make the difference between you just gobbling up the low-hanging fruit and running around like a chicken with your head cut off, or really utilizing every single person that comes in. Understand that it's really hard and really expensive to get a lead. It's even more expensive to just lose a lead because you didn't properly follow up with them. So top producing agents will use a system, and they use a CRM system is one of the most important. I talk to a lot of agents who say, yes, I use the CRM faithfully, and others are like, I don't use it. Like I put them in a notebook or whatever. Well, putting them in a notebook only works while the notebook's in front of you, whereas CRM can be working in the background even when you're not in it. So, but it is important to use it and manage it properly. So manage and organize thousands of leads, automated follow-ups, and ensure no opportunity is missed. That's the purpose of a CRM. When it comes to lead nurturing, you are able to do automated drip campaigns and AI-driven follow-ups to maintain contact with potential clients. So what does that mean? If you're new to a CRM, and we've talked about CRMs before, I think with all of you here on the call, is that your CRM is kind of like your old school Rolodex. So think of it that way. Your CRM is your Rolodex. So as you have leads come in, as you're having real estate conversations with people, they should be all added to your Rolodex or your address book. So this is basically your address book. It tells you what their first name is, their last name, their telephone number, their email address, everything that you know about them should be placed in their contact card in your CRM. That's only step one of saying I had a conversation, or they went on to realtor.com, or they came through my website, or whatever. That's only step one of the process. Step two is putting in the information, the notes that you had from that conversation. Spoke to this client. They're looking to buy in Newcastle. They're looking for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. They're first-time home buyers. They need something with a yard because they have a Pomeranian, and they want to be in the Newcastle City School District. Okay, so there's your notes. And those notes really start to get built out. And then you can arrange tasks based on what your client is. So you can put tasks in there that says, I need to reach out to this client twice a week because they want to buy in 3 to 4 months. So they are a up and coming buyer. This is going to be a hot lead. They're already pre-approved. I need to be reaching out to them at least twice a week. And it'll set that task in there. So it's almost kind of like a little reminder ticket. So when you go onto your CRM, and if you were supposed to follow up with them on a Tuesday, you open your CRM during the day and you say, okay, let me check my to-do list. And your task list is going to show up that says, call Janice and offer new properties, provide feedback on this showing, send disclosures on this property. And it's like your to-do list. Most of you know that I have ADD. And ADD is something that can deter you from being highly successful, but it also can be your superpower. And I think all of us, because we're real estate agents, have a little ADD in there. Some of us have a little ODD to go along with that. OCD to go along with that. So if you have a little ADD or if you have a little OCD, then using your CRM is key, because not only is it helping you really hone in on what you need to do or what you potentially missed, but it's also helping you take control of your business. You're marking it down. You're taking control. It's right in front of you. You can see where you've been and where you're going. And it really helps you to be able to communicate with your clients on a super high level. Now we're going to talk about lead nurturing. So what happens in the background when you're not in your CRM, when you're asleep in your bed, when you're at your kid's baseball game or whatever you're doing. So that's going to be your drip campaign. So you can automate your emails to go out to your clients on intervals, whatever those look like. Maybe you got a brand new listing and you make a listing email that is just a one-time send, and you want to send that tomorrow because it's going on the market, or maybe you're having an open house. You can go in there and design an email about your upcoming open house or your new listing. And you only design the email once, and then it's going to say send it to, and you can go all contacts, send it this time, send on this date, save. And then tomorrow morning, without you doing a thing, it's going to send that to your entire contact list and tell them about the open house. Or maybe you want to send them a newsletter every month. You design out your newsletters and you send that once a month to whoever it's going to. Or maybe you want to do a follow-up drip campaign that just sends them emails. Hey, how is it going? Have you seen anything this week you want to look at? Are you free Saturday to see some houses? These are emails you can send in the background where you only design it once, you save it as a drip campaign, and then you just start assigning contacts to it. So it's working for you. Think of your CRM as your personal assistant. Your personal assistant will tell you what you need to do, when you need to do it, and will be working for you in the background. Now, just so that you know, email open rates. I get this question a lot. Like, nobody's opening the email. I send it to 1,000 people, and only a small percentage are opening the emails. That's okay. So the average email open rate is only 20 to 40%. If you're doing it at 40%, you're doing it at a super high level, like your stuff is working. But it's not atypical to see an open rate of, say, 23%. I sent out an email on Monday, a general email, not to you guys, like a general drip email, and I had a 26% open rate, and I was super excited about that. I had a 26% open rate. My click-through rate was like 2%. So totally normal. Don't get discouraged by that, but understand that those emails, they're seeing you email them even if they don't open them, and they will open your email when the time is right for them. So maybe they're not ready yet. Maybe they're kind of thinking about buy-in, but they're really not serious yet. But trust me, when they become serious, they're going to see your email and they're going to say, oh, look at that. Such and such emailed me. Like, it just must be fate. I was just talking to my husband last night about, we really need to get serious about this real estate thing because we've outgrown our house. And then my agent emails me the next day. It's like she knew. Well, here you've been emailing them the whole time. It just wasn't relevant to them in the moment. So they didn't open it, nor did they notice it. But as soon as it was relevant, they saw it, they opened it, and then they reach out to you. It happens so often. Okay, so what's the cost of this? What does it cost you to do this? It costs you $0. This is included with your membership. You don't have to buy anything special. You don't have to do anything special. Again, we're going over the tools and tactics that you can really use for your business that cost you little to no money out of pocket that you already have access to. So this costs you $0. I don't know why you wouldn't use it. It is there and available for you. Next, automated marketing campaigns. So the challenge for any top producing agent is maintaining visibility and engaging prospective buyers and sellers while marketing multiple listings. If you've got a lot of listings, and if you're on a roll to be a top producer, you will. And when you have 25 listings, it's hard to properly market them all in the little bit of time that we have. We have 8 hours in a day, right? Some of us are working 10, 12, 13 hours in a day. You shouldn't be. Streamline your marketing, and this will definitely help you generate more leads and have your sellers clapping their hands as raving fans for the work that you're doing. So obviously getting out on social media platforms is imperative. There are two programs that I really like, and that's Hootsuite and Buffer. There is another one which I don't have named here because we use it for the Brand Boost program. And if you use it for your own marketing efforts, it boots you off the Brand Boost program. But the Brand Boost program is another way to definitely get your engagement out there. So these type of tools schedule and automate posts across multiple platforms to showcase properties and attract new clients. And if you don't think it's not worth its weight in gold, I can promise you that the Brand Boost program that Kat does for you, we use a management platform like this to do that. That's how we can design one post and we can send it out on multiple platforms all at the same time. And she's able to schedule those a year in advance if she wants to. She does about a couple weeks in advance for all of you guys. But she has your whole calendar booked out for weeks in advance, which is why when you come to the company and you get on the Brand Boost program, sometimes it takes a few weeks for stuff to actually start posting because we do it so far in advance. But you can do this on your own as well. You can post to your Facebook business page, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, wherever, your Pinterest, you name it. you can post it all across all platforms so that you can go on to One Design, make your post or whatever you're going to do. You go on to your management platform, you upload it, you say what you want to say, and then you click schedule and tell it where to post to, and it just boop, it goes on the calendar and it posts whenever you tell it to. So it's a really great tool that you can use. It varies in price. But the cheapest for a social media platform like Hootsuite or Buffer or some of the other ones we have out there, I mean, you can get that done for as little as like $25 a month. It's super, super cheap. We're going to talk about dynamic ads. So dynamic ads, they automatically generate and retarget across platforms like Google and Facebook, ensuring broad exposure for listings. Okay, so this one is, and I know we've all been there. The one I can think of is that Anthony was looking for new tires for his truck. He was looking for new tires, and he wasn't like Googling it or anything. We were sitting on the couch and he's talking about like the tread of the tire that he bought last, and I didn't like it, and they didn't last long. You need to find a new tire brand and whatever, right? So all of a sudden, the next morning, my Facebook is flooded with Facebook ads about tires. It happens every time, like our phones are listening to us. So those are dynamic ads. They hit people that you don't know at times when they need to hear from you. And they are able to be placed all over sites like Google and Yahoo and Safari and Facebook and everywhere else. So you have the ability to do dynamic ads. And one of those dynamic ads that you have access to is Boost by HomeSpotter. So Boost by HomeSpotter does have an ad cost to it. So the average cost is $139. I think the minimum cost for a Boost post is $69. But your average, if you're going to go across all platforms, is about $139. You can do them for your listings. You can do them for your sales. You can post them for your open houses. You can do still posts like this that direct to your website. You can do video posts, like the property tour, not the property panorama. It's their own, it's their own video, but you could do that through them as well. Approximately 12% of buyers find their real estate agent through social media sites, according to recent studies by the National Association of Realtors. So people are not just driving around neighborhoods to find houses anymore. They are finding them online. So this is something you can add to your arsenal if you want to do it. It's also a great value proposition to add to your marketing for your sellers as well, and just gives you kind of another service that you offer. It's also a great way to generate leads by the people who are clicking through and learning more information about your ad. Any questions yet? No? All right. Time-saving solutions for property showings. How much time do we spend running from property to property, showing properties to people who probably should have never made an appointment to see that property because it has nothing that they want? You know darn well that they are going to hate it. All right, so challenge: coordinating and attending multiple property showings efficiently. So a lot of top producers streamline this as well. If you have a new listing coming on the market, a lot of times they'll do virtual showings. This saves both you and your seller time, and it also provides more eyes on your property, providing you with more leads, providing you with more buyers, providing you with more sellers who are really impressed by your property tours. I cannot go over all of the reasons why you should do this, but you should do this, okay? So virtual tours, Matterport, iGuide, Zillow 3D allows agents to provide immersive 3D property tours, minimizing the need for in-person showings and reaching remote buyers. So this is going to cut down on the quote unquote tire kickers of the world, wasting your time looking at houses that they're never going to buy. This also saves your seller much time as well, because they're not going to have to coordinate and leave the property and pack up the kids and pack up the dog. They can take a look right online. And this also makes you look like a rock star. This is going to make you be the agent that other sellers and buyers want to hire, because I don't know why people aren't doing this more. I don't know. I did these all the time. I loved 3D tours. They just gave me that leg up over other agents in the market. And I was able to win so many listings by using this. I don't know why more people don't do it. I don't think that they know that it's free. So homes with 3D tours tend to sell 20 to 30% faster compared to homes without them. Okay. And if you go with Zillow 3D home tours, it costs you nothing. If you have a smartphone, if you have an iPhone or an Android device, you can do it right from your phone. But I always did mine with a 360 camera. So the 360 camera will cost you some money. It's a few $100, $300-$400. You can buy them used to refurbish for even cheaper. But you can get started with Zillow 3D home tours at zero cost. All you have to have is a Zillow account. And if you're on the LEAD program, you already have one. And you have to download the Zillow 3D home tour app on your phone. Once you do that, you're going to open up the app. It's going to ask you what address you're at. You're going to punch in the address, and it will give you step-by-step instructions on how to use the 3D system. So you're going to start on the outside of the house. It's going to say, what room are you at? You're going to click exterior front door, and then it's going to tell you how to take the photo. It even has like little arrows and stuff, and it'll say, speed up, slow down, go right, go left. It'll tell you exactly what to do. There's very little guesswork. So I challenge you all to use Zillow 3D home tours. That way, if you have a remote buyer or if you have a buyer who you know is probably not going to be suited for this house, you can send them to the tour ahead of time and say, hey, take a look at it here. Let me know if you still want to see this. But it does cut down on a lot of that running. Transaction management platform. So what's the challenge? Managing multiple transactions simultaneously without missing critical details or documents. So you would want to use a transaction management software like Dotloop, SkySlope, or DocuSign. Okay, and you have access to all of them. We give that to you at no cost. You have the full SkySlope suite. You have SkySlope, you have the forms, and you have DigiSign all in one place. So I absolutely love SkySlope. I hate using the old folders with the loose paper because you can lose track of things. And it is here for you, and you're all required to put your forms in there. But I can tell you, not too many agents are using it to its full potential. We see a lot of agents who are just creating the document after the file has closed. And let me tell you kind of what the problems are with that. One, your TCs who get paid to watch your files are not able to help you with missing documents or maybe missing signatures or whatever. Their job is to check your files while you're out running your appointment. So if you put something in and something's missing, they've got their second set of eyes on there, and they can say, hey, just to let you know, we're missing an initial on page 4 of the seller's disclosure. So when you see your clients, have them initial that real quick and put it in. But this prevents delays with your commission. Also, there are a ton of tabs. Like when you go into your checklist, there are a ton of tabs at the top. There's things in there where you can put notes. So you can put notes about the transaction, especially if it's a difficult transaction. And it's almost like a legal journal. Like attorneys go in and they write notes of what has happened, and they do that in case they have to refer to those in court. Not that any of us are attorneys, they're not, but it's great practice with our files to say, hey, spoke to the client here. The client was upset. This was their concern. I told them that this was the answer, and we ended the call amicably. Or this person scheduled closing, and we were supposed to be closing here, and then it got delayed by this person, or whatever the case may be. That way you have notations of everything. And if you're ever away on vacation, say you're out sick, you have a buyer's agent that's jumping in, all they have to do is go to the notes and they can check the whole file log, and they're able to jump in when you're not able to. You're also able to set tasks and to-do items in your SkySlope as well if you're using it properly. So why does this matter? High volume agents may juggle 10 or more transactions at once, and automated systems ensures that nothing falls through the cracks. So start practicing that now. Around 30% of top real estate agents use SkySlope or similar transaction management platforms, according to industry estimates. And again, this is free. It costs you nothing. So please use the tools that you have available to save yourself some aggravation and some additional time. All right, you guys are super quiet. So is there any questions so far? No? Guys are quiet today. All right. Streamline client communication. We talk to people all day, every day. All day, every day. And don't you wish that we could cut down on some of the communication that we have to have? But that's part of our jobs, is we have to communicate. But if you could take a couple little tasks and automate those tasks, one, to buy yourself some time, and two, just so that we don't forget to do them, because sometimes we forget to communicate, right? Because it's not like right in front of our face. Like it's almost like the no news is good news scenario with our clients. But our clients want to hear from us, even if we have nothing to say. So you can automate some of those. Our first is AI-powered chat box. So you could do that at Structurally. This engages and qualifies leads, handles inquiries, and provides quick responses. I personally do not use AI-powered chatbots. I'm not real experienced in it. I'm still kind of on the fence whether I like it or not. I know Realty One Group Corporate, if you go in your zone, they just incorporated an AI-powered chatbot to answer some of your questions. The jury's still out on it, I think, but definitely take a look at it if that's something that you want to incorporate into your business. One thing I do is automated client updates. And one of the programs I use for that is ListTrack. And you all have access to this. It costs you $0 to use it. So this keeps sellers informed on the home selling process and provides buyers with updates of new listings and market data. One of the biggest complaints we get here at the brokerage for agents is not that I have a terrible agent. I never hear like, I hate my agent, they lied to me. We never hear that because all of you guys are great agents. Number one complaint that I get here from consumers is what? Can anybody take a guess? Can anybody throw out an answer of what the number one consumer complaint against real estate agents is?
They don't hear from their agent.
Yep, you got it. They don't hear from them. Communication. They want to hear from you. They're like, I love my agent and I want to hear from my agent. And he or she is not calling me. So this kind of helps streamline that. So when I have a listing, or when I had a listing, I don't do it with my dad because he doesn't know how to read his email. I sign that property up on ListTrack, and I put in my client's information and I put in their email, and I set it to automatically send them a report every Monday morning about the traffic that's going on in their property. So this is going to send them an email that says, hey, I'm going to use my dad as an example. Hey, Keith, just wanted to let you know what the traffic has been on your property. These are the leads and the viewings we've had online. Please give me a call if you'd like to strategize in regards to our price reduction, or maybe we do another open house. You can put in whatever email, whatever language you want to put in that. And it's going to send that client a report that says this past week, we've had 123 new individual viewers. We've had 4 saves. We've had 2 inquiries. It gives them a full report. And it also gives them a traffic report of where people are looking at these properties. So you can see my dashboard here below. And it looks like Zillow.com is the win this past week. We've had a ton of traffic on Zillow, rightfully so, because we do pay to advertise there. Second up is Realtor.com. Again, what you would expect because we do advertise there a lot. And then the MLS is third. And then Trulia is pretty low. I mean, Trulia is a Zillow company, but we don't specifically advertise through Trulia. But you can even see that OneSuite is right under Trulia. So it means I got stuff going out through my OneSuite, and people are clicking through to get to that listing. People are clicking through. Now, if you look on the right-hand side of my dashboard, it says OneSuite. This is for inquiries. So out of all of those sources, that data source on the left, the one that is most successful at lead generation is my OneSuite CRM. Do you see how these all tie together? My OneSuite CRM gives me more leads and more requests for showings than Zillow.com. Even though we have a massive amount of views on Zillow.com and a small amount of views on OneSuite, OneSuite is the winner to actually get me the lead. The lead's coming directly to me. So all of these kind of go together. But this is great for communicating with your sellers. They're getting an email every Monday morning. Every Monday morning, they're getting an email that says, please review the information. I'm available all day. Please call me if you want to go over this, blah, 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 blah. Now, this doesn't replace phone and face-to-face communication at all. It doesn't. But what it does is it ensures that your client always feels like you're reaching out to them and giving them the data about their property so that they never have a complaint that my agent never communicates with me. Communicate with them, streamline it. It's a set it and forget it type of thing. Here, it's going to send it every Monday, and you're not even going to remember it's being sent until you get that email every Monday, where you can absolutely chime in if you want to and be like, oh, just wanted to mention, it looks like it looks like inquiries are down. Really love to talk about a price reduction. Or we've got a lot of people viewing it online. This may be a great time to do an open house on Sunday. Or are you guys free that I can do an open house, or whatever the case may be? Okay. All right. So this has no cost to you. There is no fee. Like Realty One has already paid for this. You guys have access to it in your one login. Go to ListTrack if you want to start setting up your listings. Your listings are already in there. All you have to do is add your client's name and email address and press play, and it's off and running. All right. Data-driven pricing and market strategy. All right. So this challenge is setting the right price and providing accurate market insights for multiple listings. Back when I started, we didn't have a CRM on a CMA platform on the MLS. You literally had to print out all of the listings, and then you did this worksheet to figure out what your pricing should be. And some people still do that. And then the MLS came out with a CMA platform where you could go in and you can kind of do that online, which was great, but it also takes a lot of time and a lot of knowledge, and you have to do a lot of research. So one of the challenges with that is that it just takes so much time, and there's such a margin of error when it comes to figuring out the correct price, because it really kind of leaves it up to the agent to assume what the appraiser is going to do with very limited data, right? So most top producers will use a program called RPR. RPR takes kind of the guesswork out of that, because it's narrowing down the search field to a handful of properties that the algorithm has stated over the course of many, 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 many years of data that's been in there that an appraiser will likely use based on how many bedrooms, the lot size, the square footage, the proximity, the road conditions, the demographic. All of that is taken into account with RPR. It's a really high-tech system, which I absolutely love. And it takes a fraction of the time to do than the other two methods. And so this helps you analyze detailed market data and generate dynamic, data-rich comparative market analysis reports. So there's no, going in and doing a cover sheet or anything like that to make it look like yours or make it look the way that you want to, because RPR can do that for you. So you can track market trends and forecast price reductions here. And why it matters. Sellers expect top-tier agents to provide data-backed pricing and marketing strategies to get their homes sold quickly and for the best price. So RPR is going to give you the reasoning behind the price. The reasoning behind the price, where an MLS CMA is really not. It's just, here's your comps, and this is what I think you should list the home for. Okay? There is no cost to use RPR for NAR members. If you are not a NAR member, you cannot access RPR. But we do have an RPR tile in your one login. You can also get to RPR just by going to www.rpr.com, and it will pull it up for you. If it's your first time logging in, it's going to ask you for your first and last name and your NARDS number. If you don't know what that is, there's a little lookup key there, and you can put look it up, and then you can look it up by your email. You can look it up by your first and last name. It's pretty easy. If you have problems looking up your NAR membership number, reach out to your TC. They know how to do it, and they can help you with that. Okay. All right, enhanced client experience. So challenging, maintaining a high level of service across the large client base while providing a personalized experience. So one of the things that we all have trouble doing is post-transaction follow-up. We had some other information here in past, past trainings, but I really wanted to, at least this training, for those of you who are coming back, really look at kind of that post-client experience. One of the things that's really hard to do because we're really in the thick of it is to get feedback. So as we're out showing houses with buyers and you go into showing time and you press the showing time app and you go out to look at the house, what's one of the things it does after you leave the property?
Ask for your feedback.
Asks for feedback, right? And why does it ask for feedback?
Because your sellers want to know what's going on.
Right. Your sellers want to know what's going on. And if we're getting negative feedback, what does that allow us to do?
Help to tell our sellers to do things. Because sometimes when we tell them, it doesn't really make a huge impact. But if multiple people are saying the same thing, it might mean a lot more.
Excellent. Yeah, it helps us make changes, right? It helps us make changes to the listing so that we have a better outcome for the next buyers coming in. So let me ask you this. Why aren't we doing that as real estate agents? Why aren't, when we're closing and we know that the customer has gone through that experience, why aren't we doing the post-closing follow-up to ask them about constructive criticism, like did you have a great experience? Did you have a poor experience? Are there things that I can improve? What was really good that I did, but what could I work on? Those are things we should be asking our clients to ensure that we are enhancing the next client's experience. Even if they had a bad experience, just asking them for feedback on how you could make it better may make their experience less bitter, because you came back to them and say, hey, I know this was a bumpy one. I know that this wasn't smooth, but I'd really like to change that. So what are some things I could have done better? And that's very humbling to hear. You know, it's very humbling to hear, to get that feedback back and then to incorporate that into your business so that you're doing better and better and better each time. So how do we streamline that? We can do that through review platforms like Rate My Agent and Zillow Reviews, both of which are free, by the way. You can do so many Rate My Agent per month. I think it's 5. Don't quote me, but I think it's 5 that you can do a month on Rate My Agent with the app. Zillow Reviews, you can do as many as you want, all day, every day. You can do that. You can ask for Facebook reviews. You can do that as well. There's so many, I didn't even list them all because there's so many different places that you can ask for reviews. So collect and manage your feedback and showcase your client satisfaction. But also if you get a review that says, I wish she was a great agent, she got me to closing, everything was fine, but I wish I would have had more communication, respond to that and say, thank you so much for providing me that honest review. I will definitely be incorporating more communication in the future with other clients. I really appreciate the insight and feedback. So respond to your reviews. Make your clients feel special. Client portals allow buyers and sellers to track the status of their transaction review documents and communicate with the agent seamlessly. So there's lots of different client portals out there that you can use if that's something that you want to do. You guys use those a lot with the title companies. They have client portals that you go in. So a lot of title companies will provide that to you. So you can use those. Love them or hate them. I'm not going to go into it a lot because I don't often care for client portals just because they have more questions. It just creates this bunch of like questions that becomes a little overwhelming for some sellers and buyers. I haven't found one that I like, but it is something that's on our radar just so that you guys know. And I'll let you know if we do find one that isn't just a hot mess. All right. Why it matters. High volume agents build reputations based on exceptional service and tech. It helps deliver consistent client experiences. How many of you guys here are really good about getting reviews?
I've gotten most of mine, but I guess my question is, what about the ones that are repeat customers? Like, I feel like sometimes I'm kind of like, should I do it again? You know what I mean? Or like, should we explain to them like, hey, can you do it based on this specific transaction?
I think you could do it either way. I mean, you could say, listen, I know you're buying multiple houses off of me. When I send you a review, it's going to be for that specific transaction. So if you could, I mean, I like having the multiple reviews because you're having multiple properties, but then some platforms will only allow that person to review once. So like if they go into Google and they leave a Google review, once their user ID is tagged, it won't let them leave multiple reviews. So maybe instead of asking them for a review over and over and over again, maybe send them to a different platform every time. So like the first one, they'll do it on Facebook. The second one, they'll do it on Rate My Agent. The third one, they'll do it on Zillow. The fourth one, they'll do on Trulia. The fifth one, they do on Realtor.com. I mean, you could literally never run out of places to get reviews.
Okay. And isn't it if we paid, remember we had that like meeting, whatever, with Rate My Agent, if we paid for the premium, then they basically put that review everywhere almost.
They do, yeah. Now, all agents have like the limited access, right? Like I said, I think you can do 5 individual reviews. So like you can do like 5 Facebook or 5 Google or whatever, like 5 per month. Like, and then you have to upgrade to do the rest. But really, I mean, whether you're using Rate My Agent to do it on a massive scale or you're just doing it manually, I would definitely check for that feedback. It really helps build out your credibility. It builds out your resume. And businesses that have a higher amount of ratings rank higher in search results. So definitely important. Broadcasting voice messages. This was kind of like my secret tool way back when. So the challenge is reaching out to a large number of leads and clients effectively and personally without having to make individual phone calls. So I would use this little trickaroo when I had open houses or I hosted, events like client appreciation events or whatever. I would use a program called Sly Broadcast. So basically what Sly Broadcast does is it allows you to send a voicemail message to hundreds of contacts in literally seconds. So how you do this is you go on your phone, you call the number, and it's going to tell you to record your message. And I would record a message. It says, hey, this is Christina over at Realty One Group. Just wanted to let you know that I'm having an open house this weekend on Elwood Road. It's going to be Sunday from 1 to 3. So if you have any interest in taking a look, or maybe if you're going to be in the neighborhood, please stop by and see me. It's an amazing 3-bedroom, 2-bath on a ½ acre. I will be there from 1 to 3. Stop in. I got some amazing door prizes. I'm going to have some refreshments there. And you know what? All in all, I just really love to see you. So if you have any questions about this, give me a call. You know my number, but just in case, 724-622-2283. And I hope to see you Sunday, 1 to 3 at Elwood Road in Newcastle. Thanks. And I hang up the phone. And you notice that I didn't say, hey, Julie. I just said, hey, this is Christina, And you leave a very casual, very organic voicemail message and you submit that voicemail message. Then you can go back into your Sly Broadcast account and you can attach that into your order. And you put that I want to send that to this list of 100 telephone numbers. Or it could be 200. It could be 1,000. It doesn't matter. And what it's going to do is when you click submit, it is going to send that voicemail. So somebody's phone who's on that list is going to ring a half a ring, 1/2 a ring, almost like they butt dialed you and hung up too quick. So it's going to ring half a ring. And then it's going to leave that voicemail message on their voicemail so that when they see it, they're going to be like, oh, I missed a call from Christina. She left me a voicemail. And then they're going to hear the voicemail inviting them to the open house. I loved it. I freaking loved it. It cut down on how many calls I had to make. I was able to reach a vast audience. So it was great. So it costs about 10 cents a message. Every time it leaves a voicemail message for you, it's 10 cents. So it's a great thing to have in your arsenal. It's super easy to use. It's really not that hard at all. Now, if you are buying in bulk, like you buy by the ring, so you can buy like 100 rings for 10 cents a ring. You can buy 500 rings and then it goes down like 7 cents a ring. So it actually gets cheaper, but $10 if you're on the pay-as-you-go plan, or $10 or 10 cents on the pay-as-you-go plan. You just have to buy 100 rings at a time. So it's like $10. So.
Does that only go to cell phones or does it go to home phones also?
Cell phones only. Yeah, it'll go to cell phones only. All right. That is all I've got for you this week. Who has questions on anything we went over today?
I have a million questions, but can we pull all of those, especially that last program? Are we able to pull those up and like take tutorials on them?
I'm sorry, Charlie. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Sorry, I was driving. I have 100 questions, but are we able to pull up tutorials on all of those just to kind of go through them, like on their websites and everything?
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you go on, so when we're talking about Sly Broadcast has a tutorial on how to do it. Rate My Agent, there are corporate trainings every other week on Rate My Agent. I think we've done one as well. So that should be in the ROGU agent blog. RPR, yes, we actually have a training coming up about RPR. We do that every couple months. ListTrack has corporate training. We also have one in the blog post. SkySlope, same thing. Zillow 3D has great tutorials on the Zillow 3D site. And then we normally once a year we'll do a 3D home tour on site. But yeah, all of these have tutorials. Most of these are in your one login. So if you go into our previous blog posts, it'll be one of our classes, or you can go onto your 1.u and you can see one of the corporate recorded classes as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? No? All right. Well, next week is week 7, building a strong network. We're going to get into all the things about networking, referrals, knowing and working well with your peers, and how they can really help you build out your business. So we will be going over that. But as always, thank you for coming. I appreciate the attendance always. We have such great attendance on these things. So thank you. It means so much. And if you need me, I'm in the Ellwood City office today. Of course, like always, I will stay on the line in case anybody has any questions after the meeting concludes. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.